Welcome to Lesson 7.2, Part 2, Cycle Counting, System Demonstration and Configuration from SAP S/4HANA Cloud, Supply Chain, CS4CSC by KRTI. In this session, we'll move from theory to practice. You'll see how the cycle counting process is configured, executed, and monitored in SAP S/4HANA Cloud using both CBC and Fiori apps. This hands-on section prepares you to replicate and demonstrate the complete process confidently in both project and exam environments. This lesson walks you through the three layers of cycle counting: configuration, execution, and reporting. We'll begin with defining counting indicators and tolerances in the configuration environment. Then we'll execute counts using SAP Fiori tiles and wrap up with monitoring through embedded analytics. By the end, you'll understand how every component interacts to maintain continuous inventory accuracy. After completing this module, you'll be able to configure cycle counting indicators and tolerance groups in CBC, schedule and execute automated count jobs, enter count results, post differences, and trace the associated accounting documents. We'll also highlight what SAP examiners look for, particularly around Fiori navigation, configuration linkage, and financial impact. Accessing CBC configuration area, let's start in Central Business Configuration, or CBC. From Manage Your Solution, navigate to Configure Your Solution, Inventory Management, Physical Inventory, Define Cycle Counting Indicators. Here is where you'll define the rules that drive frequency and selection. Remember, CBC replaces traditional SPRO customizing in S/4HANA Cloud, keeping your setup centralized and consistent across tenants. Defining cycle counting indicators. Indicators are the backbone of this process. For example, you can set up indicator A for monthly counts, B for quarterly, and C for annual verification. Each indicator defines days between counts, next count date, and tolerances. SAP uses these rules to automatically identify which materials are due for counting at any given time. Assigning cycle counting indicators to materials. Next, assign these indicators to materials within the material master. Open the Plant Data Storage 1 view and locate the Cycle Counting Indicator field. Here, choose the appropriate classification for each material. You can manually edit individual records or perform bulk updates using the Manage Product Master Data app or migration templates. This assignment links the material to its counting schedule. Configuring tolerance groups. Tolerance groups define the allowable difference between system quantity and counted quantity before management review is needed. Navigate in CBC to Inventory Management, define tolerance groups for cycle counting. You might define a 1% tolerance for A-class materials and up to 5% for C-class. SAP enforces these rules at posting time, preventing unauthorized adjustments that could distort financial data. Scheduling cycle counting jobs. Once setup is complete, you can automate the process using the Schedule Physical Inventory Jobs Fiori tile. Here, define parameters such as plant, storage location, and frequency. When the job runs, SAP checks which materials are due for counting and creates the necessary inventory documents. Automation ensures compliance without relying on manual tracking. Executing cycle count. Fiori process flow. SAP provides a series of Fiori apps for operational execution. Start with cycle counting, F5011A, to identify and generate documents for items due for counting. Then use Enter Inventory Count, F334, to record physical quantities and Post Differences, F335, to reconcile stock. Finally, review results in stock, multiple materials, F271. These apps provide an intuitive end-to-end process for warehouse and audit teams. Creating Cycle Count Document, F1511A. Let's look closer at the first step. In Fiori app F1511A, the system lists all materials due for counting. Select the ones you want to process and click Create Physical Inventory Document. SAP generates one document per material plant storage location combination. Each record captures the current book quantity, which becomes your baseline for the count entry. Entering count quantities F0334. Now open the Enter Inventory Count app. Warehouse personnel physically verify quantities and enter them here. They can also scan barcodes for faster entry. Always add remarks for damaged, misplaced, or sample materials. Once data is saved, the system changes document status to count entered, signaling readiness for review and posting. Posting differences, F0335. In the Post Differences app, SAP compares book and counted quantities. If differences fall within tolerance limits, the system posts the adjustment automatically. Otherwise, it flags the item for supervisor approval. Posting creates both material and accounting documents, ensuring that physical corrections flow instantly into finance. Financial postings and GL impact. Each posting affects valuation and updates the general ledger. An increase in stock debits inventory and credits the adjustment account. A decrease does the opposite. These entries can be viewed using Display Journal Entries F0709A or Display Material Document F1077. This integration maintains financial transparency without separate reconciliation steps. Monitoring count progress. Supervisors can oversee process completion through Monitor Physical Inventory Documents F1512A. This app lists all documents, their statuses, responsible users, and posting results. Filters let you analyze by plant, storage location, or indicator. Monitoring ensures timely completion and provides complete traceability for audit purposes. Reporting accuracy with KPIs. After execution, analytical dashboards such as Inventory Management Overview F2991 summarize key KPIs, including count accuracy, variance rate, and open document count. These dashboards pull data from CDS views, updating instantly after every posting. Such analytics are often referenced in SAP certification exams to test understanding of real-time inventory reporting. Handling exceptions. If a count job fails or certain items are skipped, SAP flags these exceptions automatically. Typical errors include missing count entries, incorrect plant selection, or overlapping periods. Check application logs F1783 for detailed messages. Rerunning the job or correcting master data usually resolves these issues quickly. Understanding exception handling demonstrates real operational competence. Audit trail and compliance evidence. Every step in cycle counting generates a digital audit trail, from document creation to variance posting. Each record contains user ID, timestamp, and changes made. Auditors can review evidence directly through SAP without needing separate reports. This ensures traceability and compliance with corporate and regulatory standards like SOX or IFRS. Best practice: automate and review. Industry best practice recommends automating job scheduling monthly and reviewing KPIs weekly. Revisit ABC classifications quarterly based on updated consumption data. Integrate handheld scanners or mobile devices to minimize manual error. Cycle counting should become part of daily operations, not an annual ritual. This mindset ensures sustainable accuracy and efficiency. In this session, we explored the configuration and execution of cycle counting within SAP S/4HANA Cloud. You learned how to define indicators, set tolerances, schedule jobs, and execute counts through Fiori. These practical skills form a vital part of your exam preparation and day-to-day SAP consulting work. Next, in Part 3, MiniLab will perform a complete walkthrough from setup to posting results live in the system. KRTI Edu, learn, practice, certify, succeed.